welcome to A Step, and this is Aruna, and I'm here to talk to you about all of your worries. I know I'm exaggerating here a bit, but yes, it is so common for everyone to feel that their life seems to go out of control when there is so much happening in their lives. And it is hard not to worry when you have something going on in your life or in the lives of people that you care. And worrying could start with anything. It could be about the way that people treat you, or also when you're thinking or overthinking about your future. And when this happens, we can't help but feel so out of control. What happens when we feel that we are out of control? Firstly, our body senses that we are in some kind of danger and our fight or flight hormone starts activated. And this kind of gets scary because we feel that we'll no longer be in control of our out of control situations. This leaves us with two challenges. One, we are already having to deal with our primary worry. And two, it's the stress that is caused in response to our primary worry. Constant worrying, negative thinking, and always expecting the worst can take a toll on our emotional and physical health. We can end up being restless, we can have insomnia, headaches, muscle tensions, and the list can go on. And it becomes very difficult to concentrate to do work. And some of us might end up taking out our frustration on people closest to us. And some of us might resort to self-medicated drug and alcohol, while some of us might just zone out in front of our screens. Let us dissect worry. By definition, worry is described as a cognitive process that most of us experience, and it is closely linked to the normal emotion of anxiety. Researchers also say that worry would help people in adapting, in preparing and planning for the challenges that they are facing in their day-to-day lives. Worry is grounded in reality. There's a logical component to your worry. Your brain is working hard to analyze a real and a present situation that you are in. Worries, when they are actionable, completely make sense. And worries are temporary. They are short term, as in you have a situation in hand and you are forced to use your problem solving skills to tackle that situation. Worrying becomes a problem only when it starts to interfere with your day-to-day functioning. It can leave you with feelings of being exhausted and also completely demotivated. Worry is not all bad. Despite its negative reputation, not all worry is destructive. It also has motivational benefits and it acts as an emotional buffer. The key here is for you to decide when to stop worrying once you have logically processed the reasons for your worry. Let me walk you through some useful steps to help you decide when you can stop worrying. Number one is to categorize your worries into normal worries or excessive worries. So normal worries are our day-to-day worries where you know that there is a pressing problem at hand and you need to come up with solutions to tackle them. Like say you have an exam in hand, or say you have a job interview, or things like that. Those are normal worries. And excessive worries are those kind of worries where you start thinking about them and you fall into a continuous cycle of what if, and you cannot come out of them. And they start to hinder your quality of life. So once you are able to categorize your worries into normal worries and excessive worries, the next step is for you to see if they are solvable or not solvable. So if you feel that they are solvable kind of worries, you immediately start brainstorming and see if you can have a probable outcome. right? So because you spend some time to think about the probable outcomes, when you actually pass through your worrying situation, based on the outcome that you might get, you at least know that, okay, this was a possible thing that could have happened, right? And if you feel that your problems are not solvable, then what do? Worrying is often a way we predict of what future we have in hold. It's also a way that we can prevent of unpleasant surprises and control the outcome. But it doesn't have to work every time. Thinking about all those things that could go wrong doesn't make your life any more predictable, right? And if you start thinking about all the worst case scenarios, what you're doing to yourself is you're denying yourself to appreciate what positive things that you still have that you can hold on to. So to tackle worrying, you need to address your need for certainty and answers, timely answers. Point 2 is to learn to deal with your negative thoughts. Most often, when you find yourself thinking, I can't do this, I am stuck, try to challenge yourself with these two questions. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it true that I can't do this? Is it helpful that I think I can't do this? Most times, our negative thoughts are fueled by an anxious brain. Stopping them with the challenge test would reset your mind. Point number 3 is to set aside a worry time for yourself. So when you have a specific time, say it has to be before your bedtime, somewhere in the evening. So if you say fix 15 minutes of that time as a worry time, you sit in that time to worry about things that have been bothering you throughout the day, right? The rest of the day, whenever you have worries, you can tell yourself that this is not your worry time and you don't have to think about it right now. But when the time comes in the evening that you have allocated, you can sit and think through your worries. And at that point, if you feel that your worries were not as significant as it felt at the other part of the day, you know what to do with it, right? And in this way, if you start processing your thoughts, you will develop a different perspective about what kind of worries are really bothering you and what kind of worries that you need to tackle. Point 4 is to give yourself a timeout from your worry cycle. When you're extensively invested in worrying about something that you have at hand, you may feel exhausted, you might feel irritated, you might feel so caught up that it's important that you take a break, shift your focus. Say you can go in for a walk, an exercise, do some breathing exercises to relax yourself, or just deviate your mind by, say, playing just a Sudoku. Point 5 is for you to talk about your worries. More often when you talk to people about your worries, you develop perspectives. Now, if your worries were valid, you might come up with solutions that you would arrive at, which you wouldn't have got if you were thinking about it alone. On the contrary, if your worries were not valid, by verbalizing it with people, you would realize that you were holding on to those kind of worries which are nothing but needless worries. But the point is, you need to pick the right person to talk to. Ask yourself that if you tend to feel better or worse after talking to that person. Finally, for point 6, it's for you to be mindful. Most of you know what is mindfulness, and one aspect of mindfulness is trying to be in the present. There's nothing much that you can do of what's happened in the past, and also there's not a certain control of your future. What is important though is what's in your hands at the moment and what can you work towards. Having this kind of perspective will help you have a focused and balanced life. Try to acknowledge and observe your worries while you are in your present. I really hope that this video was informative and it gives you an insight as to what kind of worries would be there and how can you categorize and how can you try to tackle your worries. If you do like this video, as everybody says, please share, like and subscribe. And in case you feel that your worries are really going out of hand, you can always reach out to professionals and they will help you get your life back on track. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful life ahead. Take care.